Hey, good morning. Part of me has really been curious about why so many kids today are bagging up so much anxiety and depression that didn't seem to be like that in the world when I was growing up. And it has recently piqued my curiosity as to why this is. Uh, I have several thoughts that I've been thinking about the last few days about this. The first of which is, what would cause or possess a child to take on anxiety, to worry, to fear? Our amygdala and our brain sometimes can get overworked when we do not get a sense of gratification in the world. And these devices that we now have today in our lives have really started to take the place of that, where you scroll and it releases a dopamine hit. Several things about the cell phone I have began to think about. Really, we need to think about the cell phone as more of a mental weapon. And we should be trained how to use it and how to holster it, and when it should be out and when it should be not. Really, the cell phone is no different than one of these. Sure, this is used to defend yourself, but in terms of learning and being trained how to use it, it never comes out. You know, this stays back here, and in very rare circumstances do I get it out to use it. It is dangerous, and now we have decided that these cell phones are too dangerous. There's a reason why the people in Silicon Valley don't let their children use technology in the home. They don't let their children have social media because they know the addictive purposes it has. What other things about spiritual warfare? My wife and I were talking to our two oldest daughters the other night when they came home from church youth group, and they noticed that there were a lot of kids that just felt really down, and and they had things, they didn't have a sense of connection with their own parents. Their parents were just there. They were just present, and sometimes I'm guilty of that in my own home. When I get this cell phone thing out and I present it even on the table, what that's telling my wife is, just having it out, the simple thing of having it out is, if something goes off on this, I have to take this because whatever that is more important than you. And the children perceive it the same way, whether we want to admit that or not. Subconsciously, that's what's happening in our minds. Check out the work of Simon Sinek and the interview he did with Tom Bilyeu on the impact theory. It's profound, and we don't even know the consequences of this yet. The other thing is figuring out how to keep an open line of communication between my kids and I at home. You see, religion almost teaches us when we screw up, it's like, oh my gosh, I screwed up. My father's gonna kill me. I gotta figure out how to not make this. You gotta figure out how to lie and conceal it and build walls so that you appears nothing's wrong, appears nothing's done. Kingdom thinking is more like, I've screwed up. I need to go find my father. I need to consult him. I need his help. I need his grace and his mercy. And that's what I want my kids to be like with me. I once heard a parent tell me, you can't tell your own kids what to do. Some of that may be correct, but I think part of that is we have allowed ourselves to make a disconnect, to put up walls by making this completely messed up perception to our kids that we were perfect and we never struggled with anything. So the other side of that is talking to my kids about sin that I have struggled with and letting them know that the devil is going to come after them with the exact same things. It's like, look, I struggle with this and I gave into this, and you have to know this is going to come at you too, because he got me with it. And let me show you what I did. Let me show you why I had to learn how to quit it. Let me show you why I struggle with alcohol. Or men, if you're not talking to your sons about pornography, you're just making it the elephant in the room and not talking about it. If all of us, it was dumbed down, the severity of what it does to our brains as men, it was dumbed down. Now I'm in my 30s, knowing how severe it really is, completely demoralizes our view of a woman until basically the real version of a woman can never satisfy us, and we constantly have to pursue this weird made-up version, and it's going to destroy your son. unless you talk to them about it. Because it's destroying millions of men today. It's destroying millions of marriages. And nobody's saying anything about it. When Verizon Wireless first came out with the digital video on the cell phone in the late 90s, 91% of the bandwidth, it wasn't sports, it was porn. 91%. The porn industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Nobody's saying anything about it. So how do we keep that open line of communication with our kids? The kids gotta see mom and dad sitting at the dinner table talking about real life things. The dinner table needs to be a sacred place in the house, gathered around food where anything can be said to anybody. And if they don't see mom and dad talking to each other, there's a problem. So let's start with our dinner tables. Let's stop eating out where we don't feel like we can have real communications. Let's put the cell phones away. Put all the phones in one place so that it says, nothing on this is more important than you, kid. Okay? Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you're doing well. We'll catch you later. Bye.